Well, hello! Welcome to today's episode of the Infinite Campus Help Desk. Figure since I couldn't be there in person, at least I could let you know the virtual way, some things that you might want to know about, how to create some assignment marks and do some things with formative assessment. So I've made a couple of, actually 3 little videos here that have all to do with creating assignment marks and then how to use them, how to set up your gradebook, and then some of the kind of philosophy behind how they work. So hopefully these will make your life easier. Remember, if there's something you need to see, hit pause so you can take a look at it. If you're utterly bored, walk away, get a snack, whatever you got to do, or you can hit play again if you need something else. But this first one here is about how to create assignment marks, just the basic fundamentals of it, and we'll get more into how to use them in the second part of the video. So first of all, what are assignment marks? You guys may have been talking about this back at school. Assignment marks are a way for you to create a slightly different letter system for entering grades for an assignment. They're really nice for formative assessment things when you're trying to call something proficient or partially proficient or whatever, and that's kind of the context that I'm sort of going to be talking about it in here. So anyway, what it is that you're going to enter, instead of entering points like 3 out of 5 or 4 out of 7 or whatever it is, you're going to enter a letter grade like a P or a PP or something along those lines. These are user defined. In other words, it's something that you have to create. If it's something that the whole district decides that they want to create a universal standard, they can probably get Infinite Campus to create one, but it's just as easy for you to go in and make one yourself. It's not hard at all. The thing about what an assignment mark does is that once you set it up, it will allow you to create or to calculate grades based upon those assignment marks. So what you're actually setting up is a kind of a conversion table. So like, for example, down there, if you enter the grade of P, it'll be counted as an 80%, or a PP would be counted as, say, a 70%. That's basically what assignment marks are. Kind of like letter grades, but sort of the reverse of what a letter grade normally is. So in terms of how to use them, like I said, they're great for dealing with formative assessment, standards-based grading, mastery grading, anything along those lines, or anytime that you want to communicate proficiency. They're perfect for that, because instead of giving a number, your kid got 7 out of 10. Well, what does that mean? It says that your kid's proficient at this particular skill, or partially proficient, or amazing, as the case may be. They're actually faster to use. One of the things you'll find out once you've got this set up, it's actually much quicker to enter grades. You'll like that part. And it's actually pretty easy to go back and edit grades when you're trying to change things, if kids go back and revise assignments or do better. And then communication-wise, assignment marks are better for parents. When parents are logging into the portal and taking a look at what a kid's grades are, they can kind of see, instead of seeing they got a 7, or they got a 3.5, what the heck does that mean? Or they got an 80, what does that mean? This actually tells them about how their kid's actually doing, what they can actually do and understand, just as opposed to some sort of random number of points. So that's kind of why we use them. So in terms of how they use them, what you'll see is I'm going to go through a series of slides here, not too many of them, that have little screenshots like this one does. And then at the very end of the video, I'll go through and do kind of a live action shot where I'll kind of go and actually go through Infinite Campus and kind of go point and click through it so you can see me doing it in action. So in any case, what you're looking for is something called assignment marks. It's over on that left side of your Infinite Campus under instruction. Don't panic if I have extra tools here that you don't have. I have all of them. You don't necessarily need them all. But under the one that says admin, you'll see a mark halfway down there called assignment marks. If that's not there, have Ms. Donaldson call me and I'll make sure that you get it. But that's what you're looking for, is that spot called assignment marks. So go ahead and click on that. And what you're going to see is a new little window will pop up that looks like this. You want to go up. There'll be 2, I think, that already appear in yours. One that says alpha and one that says performance based. Alpha is the one that you guys are real familiar with, that turns an 80% into a B-, that kind of thing. The performance based one that's down here is garbage. Don't use it. It's a really old one from elementary, so ignore its existence. But click on new, and you're going to get these little window options that show up. So type in the name of something that you want, like mastery scores or formative assessment scores or whatever you want to call it. And then you're going to get this little window come up here that says marks detail. So that's where you'd put like A as a 4.0, and then I'm going to call it 100% in a sequence. And then when you're done, you hit the add new mark, and you can actually add as many marks as you want to. I'll show you in the next screen here what that looks like when it's done. Just make sure that when you're done adding all of your marks, make sure to hit save. It's this little sneaky one up in the top corner, because if you don't do that, you're going to lose it and have to go back and recreate it. So once you've got it done, here's what it looks like. Here's the one that I created last year and used with a lot of success. So this is probably a good time to either hit pause or print off the screen or something along those lines. But this was the set that I created. And again, You guys as a district probably need to come to some sort of an agreement as to what assignment marks you want to use, what you want to call it. I don't know if you want to use one set for the whole group of you or if you want to create your own, but here's the example of the one that I did. Over on the left, the column there that says score, that's actually what shows up in the grade book. So it's really critical that that communicates in a way that's meaningful to a parent or to somebody else. Now with me, you'll notice I put AP in here as opposed to just an A. I didn't want it to look anything like a letter grade. I didn't want it to look like A, B, C, or D, or F. I wanted it to look like that proficiency stuff, so that's why I did that. And then here's this kind of, I don't random looking sort of set of percents. I'll talk about in the third one why this works, but it really does seem to work pretty darn well as a set of percent earned, so I'd suggest you copy it, but you guys can come up with your own. So there you go, there's a set of percents. Sequence just in what order they're going to appear in your list, and then you can click the boxes for passing if you want to. So for me, a 3 and above was proficient, so I consider those a passing grade. Since we don't use a standard-based grade book, that's not really a huge deal, so don't worry about it too much. There you go. Here is what it looks like for real. So I'm going to go over to, there it is, Infinite Campus, and so you can see I'm in my assignments window right here. But to set this up, see over here, I'm over on the left, and I know it's kind of hard for you to see what I'm doing, but I'm over on the left, over at Instruction. I'm going to go down to where it says Admin. I'm going to click on that, and that opens up those extra little bits. And I'm going to go down a little bit further to where it says Assignment Marks. When I click on that, here's the window that comes up. Hopefully it won't just choke on us right in the middle. But you can see here's those assignment marks that I have that says that I own these particular ones, Bedwell, the ones that I made up. When you create yours, you'll have a checkbox in your last name in that particular spot. But you would go back and create new is what you'd hit, and I'm just going to call this sample. Or silly stuff is another example of what I was going to do. And so you can call these scores whatever you want to. So you can just leave it as AP and call it 100%. Sequence would be 1, and that would be passing. And then I'm going to do proficient plus plus, whatever you want to call it. And I'm going to call that a 95% sequence 2, and that would be passing. And again, you just continue that, add new mark, add new mark, add new mark, and then eventually at the end, make sure you hit save. So there you go. And then when you get over to your assignments, which I'll show you in the next video, I'll show you how to access that. But now you can kind of see down on my list, there it is, the one I just created called Sample. So again, the one that I created that I really like is the one called Mastery Scores, and that's the one I showed you in the video before. So there you have it. Pretty basic. It's not that hard to create an assignment mark. It's very useful. It takes you a couple minutes. Good news is this will work in all of your classes, so you only have to create it once. And the good news is it'll work for you again next year. You don't have to recreate it. So once you've got it, it's yours and it belongs to you. So there you go. I'll see you in video number 2. Hope you're not too bored. Talk to you in a little bit.